it's Nadia with Empower Counseling. Today I want to talk a little bit about chronic illness and chronic pain and the impacts these things can have on our emotional well-being and the state of our mental health. First, let's talk about the people that are going to get hit the hardest emotionally when they get diagnosed with some type of chronic illness or find out that they're going to be living with some type of long-term chronic pain. So these are the type A personalities, right? They're the overachievers, the overcomers, these success-driven, goal-oriented type people. These are the ones that welcome a challenge so they can show other people how it's done and add it to their list of achievements. They're the ones that are used to doing everything on their own and doing it very well. And then all of a sudden, they can't. What a shock. My favorite metaphor to use when discussing chronic illness and chronic pain is the idea of going skydiving, right? And then someone else pushes you out of the plane. And once you're out of the plane, you realize you don't have a parachute. So this is the complete sense of no control over your life. And that is very scary. So what about the mental health symptoms? So what we're looking at is the mental health symptoms that you also see in the stages of grief. And the goal is get to an acceptance point where you can find a new normal for yourself. So what do those symptoms look like? We have depression, anxiety, and anger. So what depression may look like is somebody feeling like a failure for not being able to do these things anymore. Oftentimes you hear that they feel like a burden because other people are having to pick up their slack. And then there's the big old case of what I call the I don't want us, right? So they don't even want to get up and face the day. Maybe they don't even want to get out of bed. Maybe they just want to cry all day in bed. And that's very normal. That's just part of the stages of grief associated with chronic illness and chronic pain. And then the anxiety. So what the anxiety looks like is worrying, lots and lots of worrying. So worrying that maybe you're gonna wake up in the morning, you won't even be able to go to work because you just can't get out of bed. And maybe you worry that you can't be the partner you wanna be, or worrying about how the chores are gonna get done and how the kids are gonna get taken care of. How are the errands gonna get run, right? So just constant worrying about responsibilities being able to be taken care of that you're so used to doing. And that's just really anxiety inducing, whether it's a panic attack or just constant racing thoughts. That's what the anxiety is going to look like. And then lastly, we have anger. So what you're going to see here is experiencing some type of resentment towards life. You're very bitter that life has kicked you out of that driver's seat that you're used to being in. Maybe you get better about the thought of going grocery shopping, where all of a sudden now you have to use this motorized cart. Those things seemed like a lot of fun when they're kids, but not so much when you have to use them, right? So bitterness, resentment, that's what that's going to look like. So how do you get through it? How do you get through it? That's really the question here, right? How do we get to acceptance? And how do we learn a new normal? So oftentimes getting through it is the most obvious answer that we just don't realize. So how do you get through a wall of impenetrable steel? Can you? Probably not. So the most obvious answer that we don't think about is we can't go through the wall, let's go around it, right? So let's figure out a new normal and learn how to do these things we're used to doing with our new body, our new health status, whatever it is. So going back to the plane example, you're pushed out, you don't have a parachute. What if I told you you didn't need it? That sounds crazy, right? Hear me out. The reason you don't need a parachute is because you have wings. And you just didn't realize it. But they come in really, really handy now because you don't need a parachute to fall directly down. You can bust out those wings and go anywhere you want. The beauty of overcoming and finding some type of new normal when you get diagnosed with a chronic illness or chronic pain is you become a superhero. I'm not even kidding. Overcoming it and being able to do these things despite the pain, despite the fatigue, it is inspiring. You should be inspired by yourself, and I promise you other people are inspired by you. So with all that being said, if you're struggling with finding your new normal and learning how to get those wings out, a counselor can be a really, really good help. So a compassionate counselor that understands chronic illness, they understand chronic pain, and even better yet, they specialize in the two, can be tremendously helpful to helping you navigate the depression, the anxiety, the anger, and getting through all that grief to get to acceptance. So if you're ready to find your new normal and you're ready to have a sense of peace despite everything going on, because it's a lot going on, who are we kidding? Give us a call at Empower Counseling at 770-283-8386, or check out our website, www.empowercounseling.net, and you can schedule yourself there. And if you're interested in seeing more videos about mental health, you can subscribe to my channel, and I will be posting at least one video every week. It's time to be nice to yourself, and it is time to learn how to be a superhero and bust out those wings. You deserve it.